Hi friends, welcome to the 30-day challenge of breath, balance, and body work. I'm excited you're here. I look forward to each day that we spend together. I'm going to get right into it because 10 minutes goes by awfully quickly. When I was thinking about where to begin, I thought we have to start at the foundation. We have to lay a good foundation. In this class, you will sit, you will stand, you'll lay down, we'll do all manner of exercises, but I want you to do them with a good foundation under you that protects you. Now, you already know how to walk and sit and breathe because I know you can do that. But we have developed habits over time that sometimes take our body out of alignment. So the reason we're starting with this is I want your body to be aligned. Number one, to protect your joints so that we can get good range of motion and increase that range of motion for that joint. And then if we're in alignment, it is easier to build our strength. Let's say your hip hurts over here and you tend to lean this way, and now you're always standing this way because it feels the most comfortable. We want to get you back so that you're balanced, so that you're not causing more stress on this side of the body that was supporting more of the weight. So I will always be referring back to how you're standing, how you're sitting, and even how you're laying. So let's get started. As I said today, we're going to sit, stand, and breathe. So first thing we are going to learn to do is how to sit. I want you to scooch forward to the front of your chair so that just your bum is on the chair and most of your leg here is open. And feel those two sit bones. Feel that you are sitting nice and square. This is already a good place for you to check. Do you lean to one side? Is that because there's pain here? Let's bring it back to the center and that you're squared over those two sit bones. Next thing is find your hip bones. They are on the front of your body. We women oftentimes think of this as our hips. This is flesh. Here is your hip bone. So from your hip bone, you want your knees to come straight out from that hip bone, right? Setting that good foundation. So as you put your hands there and feel it, take your knees out. Now sometimes people sit knees close together or they stand farther out. We want to get that nice straight alignment from there. Then if you look down, where should your ankle be? Your ankle should be straight down from your knee. And then same again with toes. Some people walk out this way, some people walk in. Line up the foot so it's coming straight out from the ankle. Let me show you from the side of the chair. So if I'm squared up, my hips are facing forward and my leg is coming straight out from my hip. That's nice and straight. Now I have to check where my ankle is. If you can see here in the video, my ankle is way behind my knee. So I need to walk that forward so that my ankle is straight down and in line with my knee. You're making a 90-degree angle there, but that is for your best support and balance. Now when I'm sitting down, if my knees are coming straight out from my hips and my ankle is straight down, if I look in between my legs, I should be able to see my two big toes on each foot. So then I know I'm nice and squared up. Now how do we sit on the top half of our body? Let's take some shoulder rolls. Let's roll those shoulders back or forward, whichever you feel like. And now go the other way. If we move a joint one way, we should move it the other way. Now take those shoulders back and rest those shoulder blades on the back of your lungs. Shoulders aren't up here by your ears. Check that they're down and they're back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together in the back like you're trying to have them touch and pinch one another. Then where should your head be? Well, you're like it's upright. That's true, but most of us in North America have a forward head because we're looking at our phones. We're looking down at our computers. We're looking down to drive. So take your fingers, trace down. If your fingers come in front of your shoulders, then your head is forward. Your head weighs about 10 pounds, so that's putting a lot of stress on your neck. So how do we get it back lined up over the spine? We draw it back from here, which really means we give ourselves an unattractive double chin, but we don't care. We're giving our neck and our neck muscles a rest. We're lining everything up. So now if you take your fingers and you trace down, your head should be over your shoulder. So while we're here, the next thing we are going to learn to do is breathe. So you sit up nice and straight, keep those shoulders back, and I want to teach you to breathe into your belly. So as you're breathing in, I want you to push that diaphragm out, fill that belly with air, and then when you exhale, pull that belly button back and towards the spine. Now I will tell you right now, just practice doing that as we are sitting here. And Sundays is going to be devoted a lot to rest and breathing. So don't worry about getting all of this right now. Just start to practice that movement of filling up your diaphragm and breathing into that belly. Now I'd like you to put one hand on your belly and one hand over your heart. Doesn't matter which hand, whatever is most comfortable for you. And then I want you to begin the process. If some of you do it already, great. But if not, I want you to breathe in through the nose, zip the lips, and breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. There's a whole host of reasons why this is good for you, but it's called diaphragmatic breathing. So we will practice balanced breath. I'll count them out for a count of 4. So close your mouth. Breathe into your nose, push the belly out, 1, 2, 3, 4, fill the belly. Then exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw that belly button back towards the spine. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through your nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can let that go, or you can continue to breathe as I talk a little more here. What I wanted you to notice about your hand up here was, did you feel your lungs moving up here? I'd like your lungs to remain nice and quiet, and I'd like you to fill the diaphragm and the belly with the breath. And then when you exhale, pushing it all out through the nose. For some of my schoolmates that are on here, I always think, when I first learned to breathe this way, I always think of Roger Farsdale, our choir director, who had us breathing into the diaphragm, filling it up so that we had more air to sing. So our lungs being quiet. So if your lungs are moving a lot, it means you are just breathing up here very shallow. We want you to breathe down into the belly. This helps for a whole host of reasons. One of them is it can lower our blood pressure. It can also lift us up if we're tired, that 4x4 breath. Breathing in, exhaling out for 4. Stopping to do that for a minute or 2 can also, if you're stressed or anxious, lower the blood pressure. So balanced breath can be practiced anywhere, anytime, any place. But our time together will focus on zipping the lips, breathing in and out through our nose. I'll continue each time we talk about breath to teach you more about that. And all of you are getting access to my breathing group. There is 7 breaths practiced over 21 days, give you a whole host of reasons as to why we're doing this. But begin to practice in and out through your nose. And the other thing to think about, if you breathe in through your mouth, all of that oxygen goes to your belly. If you breathe in through your nose, it goes to your brain and to your organs. So that is another good reason to breathe through your nose. So now we've learned that, we will now learn how to stand. We'll translate that just by moving. I'll move my chair completely out of the way. If you don't have the greatest balance, you can have the chair in front of you or to one side. I think I'll illustrate by doing it on the side. But we are going to do the same thing we did seated. We will find those hip bones, so find them on the front. Now, look, are your knees going straight down from that hip bone? If your knees are coming in, you need to widen them out. Or if you're out too far, you need to bring them in. This will show you the habits of how we often stand and getting you back into that solid foundation that supports hips, lungs, the whole body. Okay? So now your knees are straight down from your hips, and then check your ankles. Are they under your knees? Then check your foot position. If your feet are out to the side, turn those feet in so the toes are pointed forward. Then let's take those shoulder rolls again. Hear a little creaking in my shoulder, which means I need to activate it. Take them the other way. And now set those shoulder blades down on the back of your lungs. Pinch them together back there. When you do that, your hands tend to automatically open up. Okay? So if you roll them down, squeeze them back, those hands will open up. Now I want you to think about your feet. Are any of you pressing down through your toes and you feel like you might be falling forward? That's because I want you to get that weight in the back of your heels. We're already practicing our first balance right here. So there are 4 arches in your foot. One runs below your toes, right across the front of your foot. That is the front arch. So you should be able to stand here, just like we're together, and wiggle your toes around without falling. Now, if your balance really isn't good, use a chair. Hold on to that. But notice how when you lift up the toes, your weight shifts to the back of the feet. So you will balance on the front arch, the side arch, the inside arch was the one we always talk about for shoes, and resting in the back of that heel. Again, you can check your head. Is it coming down over your shoulders? If not, get that double chin, draw that head back and towards the back. Right now you are practicing mountain pose. It's funny, you never thought there could be this much work to standing. Now the other thing I want you to check is your pelvis and your back. Sometimes this position is hard for people because I'm going to turn to the side because they do this. They're popping the butt out and they're squeezing everything back here. I want you to tuck your bum under so your pelvis is lifting up a little bit in the front, and then engage your core. That's supporting your spine. Hug in your ribs a little bit, and from here let's practice that balanced breath. If you want to, you need to feel that feeling. Bring the hands up to the tummy and the heart, but breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another nice breath in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's let everything go and shake it out. This is all a learning process. If you have a knee that doesn't work or you have some issues with, you don't have to force it today. Just you're finding your baseline. You're finding out where you're at. If 4 breaths was easy for you, extend it. Make it 5 and 5. If you could only hang with me for 2 or 3 and you had to breathe, that's okay. You're finding your baseline. You're building your breath. So today, I think I haven't checked the clock here, but I will very shortly. We have learned sitting and standing and the elements of breath. For all of you, I will send you an invite to the breathing page, and you can learn about nitric oxide and all the wonderful things it does for our heart and our brains, and why we specifically breathe through the nose. But it's our first day. I'm just excited to be with you. Please send questions or anything that you have so that I can address them to the group, and I look forward to our time together. See you tomorrow.